Damn, this is the intro. Yes, it's the intro.
They don't know what they in for. If it coming like this on the intro, what they here for? If they want the heat, you know who to send for your info. Buy my money like Venmo. If this music don't work out, I know how to get it from my ends low. How you feel though? Cause hey, they can't rock with us. Galaxy ain't no stopping us. They ain't try to steal my style. I'm feeling like I just shot it. Can't trust them cause they not my. Cause we worried about getting figures. All my ain't father figures, just know my quick to pop it.
Damn, it's the intro? Yes, it's the intro. Damn, this is the intro? Yes, it's the intro. Damn, it's the intro? Yes, it's the intro. Damn, this is the intro? Yes, it's the intro.
Downstairs. You mean? Girl, I told you I'd be ready. You always got excuses and you know I be on top of things. Punctual my proper name. On the dot is not your aim. Although we in love, we are not the same. I hit you on that celly. You said you needed 5, that was more than 12 ago. Claim you got your hands tied, time stuck like Velcro. Georgia Peach on east side like it's ATL. You lacking, you tripping, you slacking, impatient, be waiting, confused like what happened. You get attitude cause I'm getting mad, cause you wanna take 20 minutes and a half. And on top of that, I gotta get gas out of the freeway, picked up traffic. What the is you doing? We gotta dip. Cardi, yeah. Watch your tick. Waiting for that last minute for your hell. Now stop playing games, good and bring your downstairs. Come on, let's go. Come on, girl, let's go. Cause you know that time that you wasting, like time that you wasting, like time that you wasting on my time. Come on, girl, let's go. Come on, girl, let's go. Cause you know that time that you wasting, like time that you wasting, like time that you wasting on my time. Took me 20 to get ready, yo. Shower moisturizer and the fit I had on yesterday. Uniform necessities, multiples of everything. Now your neighbor wanna come and speak to me like,
Hey, how you doing? I
ha. Hit her with a few fake laughs. She talking my ear off. It's sympathy I lack. I care about one thing. What up? Anyway, gotta pay a little more if we late to the jet. Gotta jet cause the boat leave at 8. And we got some fur on the upper deck in the orchestra. Gon' play a score for LV Oblo project. You ain't scared to change cause it's ain't coming out your pockets. My fruity and slip. I'm rude a little bit. Don't be acting so appalled. All y'all girl let it put so much into tonight. And you just don't care. Now stop playing games.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Get it! Check match, ready.
On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
No! Hey, smash
play fake. He'll look to throw. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down.
Here we go.
So a big penalty there on the face mask leads to 1st and 10.
Go.
Option play, and it's a handoff to Pierce. And now off to the races down the right side. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Check contact, check contact. Check smash, check smash. W18.
Give to Pierce now on the option. That burst good for 20 and a first down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. First and 10, it's Pierce. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. The Texans at 11-5 on the year. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Colts are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. It's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions. Can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Well, this defense for the Texans, they were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolute phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
All that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for. One of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On 3rd down, here's Taylor. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
First down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield, a loss of 2. 2nd and 12 now at the 44-yard line. He'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
As quarterbacks like to do, he pushed it downfield on that throw. But I think that since he was outside the pocket and there was open space, it would have been a good time for his first carry of the game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 20-yard line. A nice pickup of 23 on the third down conversion. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot the last couple of games.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that'll send them back to the drawing board.
9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. And the slot man goes in motion left. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That is caught. Michael Pittman with it. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Nice job understanding the situation. 3rd and long. Kept the play in front of them and made the tackle. They gave up a good chunk of yardage, but it does force a 4th down.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Let's go now.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they'll be looking to make amends for that first drive, which came to a rather abrupt ending.
Certainly did, and I remember going back to my notes before this game, and a lot of times when I scout a guy, I have a little section about how does he handle adversity. And in this case, a big check mark. He may have thrown the first interception, but I don't think he's going to throw very many more.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. Swings this one out wide for Pierce. Finding space at the 40. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
And he's got room. And it's a big play there as he is finally taken down on what will be a terrific final act of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll run here with Pierce. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Drake London, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Texans have moved out in front. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far. But on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. They'll look to throw here. Out of his hands quickly to Pittman. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And taken at the 46. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. Hand off left side, Pierce. And some room to work. Touchdown, Houston. Well, what a first half he's had running the football. Another terrific run there, and this one finds the end zone.
Well, we know he's a guy who's capable of coming up with big plays in the running game, and his offensive line knows it as well. That keeps them motivated, looking for those extra blocks to give him room to run downfield.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
2nd down, another run with Taylor. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Slot man moves right. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's a gain of just a... Shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here on out because he'll only have 1 challenge remaining. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. He'll get this one to Pittman. So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now back to throw. Flush to his right. That is incomplete.
You tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, and they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That went into
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up. Out now is the punter, Braden Mann. So not just running into the punter, but roughing the punter.
And I'm struggling with this one. You know, you're watching it, partner. Is it more the first rather than the latter? This is a tough one. Almost feels like he felt like he had to call it on that play.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Jalen Petrie picks it up, and the Texans are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
These two teams, you may recall, they didn't play each other till late in the year. Their first meeting was not too long ago, back in Week 13. And it was the visiting Texans who came away with a victory. So they'll look to take the season series if they can win here in Houston.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And some room to maneuver. But he will finally be taken down, but not before he gets it to the Colts' 25-yard line. A big play there on the option. 40 yards on the ground.
Hey, check that. Street.
Option play, and it's a handoff to Pierce.
And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. 1:55 left to go in the first half of play. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Pat the street. Trap 60.
Pierce will try to pick it up.
And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
Hold the set.
He'll look to throw. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. 3rd down.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Being chased out left. And that is incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. So that a free 15 yards.
And it's always a tough one as a defender because a lot of the penalties that you commit, pass interference, holding, when they happen, you actually know what you're doing. But a face mask penalty, a lot of times it's inadvertent, but it still costs you the same amount of yardage.
On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Touchdown! Drake London. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Texans will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead is up to 18 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Back to throw here. Looking here for Smith downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
They'll drop the throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started. And that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty. And before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
The Texans lead over 1st down again at the 42-yard line.
In motion goes the tight end. Pierce now up the middle. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
Ready.
2nd and 9 now. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Shaquille Leonard. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The kick by Elliott is good. For almost 8 years, 64 stood as the NFL record for the longest field goal. That has since been eclipsed. It's now 66, but still 64-yarder. Pretty impressive, CD.
Absolutely agree with that because if you drill a 60-yarder in an NFL game, you've got a lot to be proud of. Record or no record. And only a handful of guys can even attempt it. Excellent job there, putting that one through the pipes.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play.
They'll throw now on the final play. And incomplete on the deep ball. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Colts getting the football first, and they trail here as we are back underway in quarter number 3. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's going to be out of bounds. Here's the run back. We'll leave him shy of the 20-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any one of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. He finds his man complete. That's Norris. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
And he'll find Pittman. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. They'll look to throw again. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Back to throw again. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
Up the middle, here's Taylor. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They've not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Fairbairn able to put this one through. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing. All right, they didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need him to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They'll start on the ground with Pierce. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, they went back to him, but the results were similar, so I highly doubt that he'll get another opportunity here on 3rd and long.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. He'll drop to throw. And some room to roam now. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
No surprise to see him running again here. It's something he's done throughout this season. And that run puts him over 500 yards on the ground for the year. He's got to be thinking to himself, if I'm already at 500, what's to stop me from going for 1,000?
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. They'll set up a throw. And he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line.
Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The Texans send the punter out, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt.
Taken at the goal line, and he'll only get this to the 2-yard line, a near catastrophe.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Colts are going to take over, albeit deep in their own territory. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
There's a lot about that play you could easily see coming. Backed up in the shadow of their own goal line, you know they're going to face pressure.
He's lucky his arm was going forward. It was close, but it was going forward.
Yeah, it could have been a safety or even giving up a defensive touchdown.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. And he comes back with one complete. And they're going to get this all the way out past the 20. Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Colts.
Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. And I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes, because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that, so he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away.
This taken in at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Pierce. And some space here. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he gets it to the Colts 26. 156 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. Great run there, but it looked like they were going to have him for the stop. He was able to push through. They didn't wrap up defensively.
No, they didn't. All credit to the runner for making it happen, breaking through some contact and going a long way. But the defensive guys, when they watch this on tape.
And it's out. He put it on the carpet, and the Colts pick it up.
He was having success there holding on to it on the option, but ultimately problems downfield, and it results in a turnover.
Yeah, and this is a tough one because you know you'd prefer to have your quarterback either heading to the sidelines or getting down at the end of the play. But you've got an aggressive one. He's fighting for extra yardage, and he gets stripped there. You don't need him to be a hero in that situation. You want your quarterback taking care of himself.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. That's good for 28 yards. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Looking deep downfield. And it's intercepted.
And the Texans are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The drive starts with a carry by Dillon,
and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Right there.
Pierce takes it straight ahead.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. This offense on 3rd down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
They'll try and run for the first with Dillon.
And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They run again with Dillon, and he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
19 yards there on the catch and run.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw, eluding the pressure right.
Working the sideline here. Did he get the feet in? Yes, they say that he did. Nice job tapping both of them down.
2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And that pickup of a 1st down That's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. Coming up on a 2nd and 6.
They'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 33.
Give to Pierce now on the option. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. 178 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season. Dillon now on 1st and 10. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. This defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
1st down, they go right back to Pierce.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown.
Dameon Pierce, his 12th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Texans are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
This one fielded at the 5. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked up by Talanoa Hufanga.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And he's got some space here. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the 1st down.
It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will.
And they'll go right back to Pierce.
And he's in. Touchdown. touchdown number 60.
And the Texans stretch this fourth quarter lead even further, and they are closing in on win number 12 of the season.
Elliott good with a PAT, and they open the lead up now to 25. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
Take it in at the 3. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third. They'll set up to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today.
Jalen Petrie picks it up. And the Texans are going to get the football here as he gets this out past the 20-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last two drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
And everyone on their assignment defensively there as he'll be taken down behind the line. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And when you break
for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted. East Coast, the 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. Neither one play games when swinging for them fences. We want the finer things that's expensive. They hit them either close range or at a distance. If God for me, why bother? I got my game from the Godfather. Top of the food chain, rock bottom. And handle my business when it was my problem. Jeep. Flossing with a gold chain. I got my Turkish rope with matching gold things. Bomber jacket in the winter, it's a cold game. I met some East Coast up in Spokane. Some of the realest in this dope game. I got my curly top looking like special ed. Clean fade on the side, bumping that red head. Clean tags when I ride, ducking the feds. East Coast, they get that bread. You you end up dead. Them West Coast, they leave that spray. And now you got all in your dread head.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
Still trying to the riches.
East Coast, the 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no different. 4th and inches. I'm finna hit a lick and handle business. I got her down, she real vicious. Rockabye, baby, no witness. This is not even a conflict. You on nonsense. Got the same way in Brooklyn and Compton. But with that gang, then make a profit. On top, stay poppin'. Look. See, I was the high school slick Rick, I was styling. Fat gold chain with an African medallion. Hip-hop connoisseur and rolling 20 gripping. Rap game real tight, freestyle was magnificent. All about the clout and all about my dividends. Them older couldn't tell me different. I need a roundaway girl to live in. Showtime at the Apollo. I'm about the bottle. Take 2 and pour out a little for my who won't live to see tomorrow.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all the that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
Yeah, that my Brooklyn, go see Chirac, Southside, C12, 911, grrr to the reality, we still outside. Mine on the richest, hard in the trenches. You can't throw dirt on the underground, we thrive in it. Ghana boys stocks on the rise, Charlie. This flex know they ready. See, we don't to ride nobody with. We're the ones who started with it. Translation: Yanni had to buy, Yanni had Yanni hits. This goes so hard, even the ops go with it. That's how you know we lit. Grrr.
Trust, me taking no loss. We be the hottest on the scene. Gemstones from the dust. Big dog, leash. Where's the love in the streets? Pour my heart on the beach. See that blood on my sheets. Yeah, when me ready, they hit it heavy. I zoom on the pride of my people already. Them I see Ellie. Me, I'm just sharing my journey. I'm thankful that people they hear me. Tribe of Joseph, I'm ahead of the bunch. P5, I was starving for months. A running cut team, but on my pockets, me need my DNA. Baby for lunch, but people.